Pete, thanks for joining me. So, I had a guy contact me. His email name, or email, was just Barry. And the company's called Barrysail, like S-A-I-L, like a sail on a boat. And so Barrysail, all one word, is the name of his company. But he sells his knives on Amazon, and he wanted to send me one to look at. And I told him I would do a review of it. When I do these things, especially when somebody just sends me something, I always want to make sure that I'm if there's a real problem, and I probably won't put a bad review on, I'll just not review it. I'll just send the knife back, tell them sorry. And I've had to do that a couple times. So if you see one that I'm actually putting on here, it means the knife did fairly well, and I had some good things to say about it. If it was a real disaster, then I just don't put up a video. So anyway, this knife is a folding knife, and you can see from the package, it's pretty plain. I've been using this for the last couple of weeks. I put it back in a box just so you can see the box. I didn't bother to put it back in the plastic, but it just comes in a little plastic bag. There's a little sticker in here that's got the email address for support, and says that they want to make you happy. If you have a problem, you can email them, and you can get help. Anyway, so this is a Barrysail folding pocket knife, 3.3-inch D2 steel blade, G10 scales for hunting, camping, survival. And yes, it's made in China, which just about everything is anymore. Anyway, so this is the knife. It is a flip-open knife, and you can see it's not too untypical of a lot of knives you see coming from China. This does have ball bearings in it, and the liner lock. And the lockup on it is really solid. There's no play, and there's no side-to-side play. It locks up nice and tight. A little odd that the belt clip is at a pivot end rather than the other end. So normally, most of my knives, the clip is on this end, and so that's just the way I'm kind of used to carrying one. This was a little different to pull it out and get used to using it with it pointed the other way to start with. The G10 scales are nice and grippy, and they've got some texturing here. The blade has some jimping at the top here, which is good. There's this, I guess, finger choil you'd call it here. I never probably would be comfortable using a knife like that. I don't know, my finger's just too close to the edge, and I'm not sure that it was necessarily made to do that. It does seem to be pretty comfortable despite the fact that the belt clip is up here. I didn't really find it, I could tell it was there under my hand, but it wasn't uncomfortable. And so I just used this for some daily tasks for a couple of weeks. I did everything from opening the mail to cutting down boxes and just all kinds of chores. I just for grins, I tried doing a little wood carving with it just to kind of see. And it seems to hold up really well. It's like I said, it is a liner lock. It's open frame. It's pretty well centered. Not perfect, but for a knife like this, it's pretty well done. The blade is 3.3 inches. The handle or scales are 4.72 inches. They are G10. When I put this on my scale, it weighed 4.2 ounces or 120 grams. It's nice and smooth to open. It does not have a thumb stud or anything, so you have to do the flipper thing. And but it flips right open, locks. Like I say, the lockup's real tight on it. Kind of the cool thing, currently on Amazon, so the suggested retail price is $29.99, but they have these listed on Amazon at $19.99, and there's a 20% coupon. So whatever 20% of $19.99 is, you get that off too. And so it's a pretty inexpensive knife. Like I say, the blade is D2, and it's got this kind of stone-washed, it's a popular kind of finish. And you can see it's a full flat grind with this bevel here, and so it came sharp. But a lot of knives come sharp, but the sharpness is really a machine sharpening thing where they have a machine they sharpen it with. To me, that's sharp, and yes, it does most of what you want to do, but it's not super sharp. So I ended up putting another diamond stone and then using a strop on it, and it took a very nice edge. It's very sharp, and it it has performed all its tasks well, and it has held its sharpness well. I didn't find in any of the online information about it, I did not find a rating for the hardness of the steel. I would guess it's in the 58 to 60 range. It's held up about like a D2 steel would in that range. And, I'm a lover of, one of the reasons I agreed to do this is I'm a real lover of D2 steel. D2 has, I think it's like 11 or 12% chromium, and yet it's not a stainless steel. It doesn't have enough chromium to rise to that level. But the chromium, the way D2 is formulated, the chromium in it actually ends up enhancing the hardness more than it does the rust resistance. So some people like to say D2 is rust resistant or kind of stainless. It's really, you can make D2 rust. I think I have a video on a Fintiso bushcraft knife, and when I got it, there was rust on it. Not a whole lot, but little bits of rust here and there, and it's D2. And so, yes, it would. Now, this has this finish on it that should help prevent that. But if you get this wet and just leave it, yes, it'll rust. That's just the way D2 is. So that's one of the things that kind of bugs me is I see this from time to time. People call D2 stainless, and it's more resistant than some other steels, but it will rust. So anyway, like I said, G10 scales. It's nicely fit and finished. Lockup is tight. Really no complaints about it. In general, like I say, I wish, this is not a complaint, but a preference, I wish the belt clip was either mounted on this end or movable, because I like to move it. And frankly, I think it's a good thing on a knife if you make it where you can have it on either side or top or bottom. If when you add that kind of functionality to the belt clip, then to me that just makes it more versatile. But for $20, kind of hard to complain. And for those people that do like a tip down belt carry, or the pocket clip carry, then this will be fine. I'm not used to it that way. I got used to it. It was okay. I wouldn't. If this was the only knife I had, I would use it and be fine. So it's a good knife. I've enjoyed using it. The blade shape is it's a good shape. As you know, if you watch my videos, I don't like a tremendous amount of upsweep, so this gentle upsweep is kind of what I like. Kind of a leaf-shaped blade, but it's very functional. It performed all the tasks that I wanted to use it for, and it kept a good edge. And I don't abuse knives. I consider knives tools, and I take care of my tools, and I don't abuse my tools. So you're not going to see me hammering knives through nails or doing that kind of stuff, because that's not how I use a knife. But I did use this for a number of cutting tasks. The finish has held up really well. Once I wiped it off, you can't really even tell. I was kind of worried, sometimes when you cut through a whole bunch of cardboard, it'll actually wear the finish. And after I did that, there was some glue and stuff from the cardboard, but after I cleaned it off, the finish is just unmarked. That was kind of cool. I've actually had some of these where you actually start wearing through the finish. Cardboard's pretty abrasive. So anyway, that's this knife. I think it's a great little knife. For the price, it's kind of hard to beat. I'll put a link in the description down below if you'd like to get one. It, like I say, it is made in China, as so many things are these days. Maybe that'll change. Who knows? But it is. I think it's a decent knife for the money. Certainly, will serve you well. It. You can tell I'm not used to flipping a knife. It does perform well, though. It does have a detent, too, right? When it closes, it kind of locks right there at the end, so it's not going to just fall open in your pocket. There is a detent. So, anyway, pretty cool little knife. I've enjoyed using it. I normally carry a Spyderco Delica 4, and I enjoyed using this. Didn't really miss the Delica 4 while I was using it. I still like my Delica 4, but it's a good little knife. They didn't, like I said, do any real fancy things with the packaging. Some of the knives I've shown you, they come with a fancy case and all that. But they're more expensive in general. You pay for that. At the same time, Barrysail sent me a box with 2 of these little, and I'm not reviewing this because I haven't really used these yet. Maybe I will use them and create some kind of review. But he sells these on Amazon too. They're a keychain knife. And these have a thumb stud, and I don't know what kind of steel they are. I haven't really looked into it. It's all stainless steel. It's a cute little keychain knife, liner lock, locks up nice and tight. It's good and sharp. I'm not real sure what I'd use it for because I don't really use a keychain knife, but I guess I'll try using one of these and see how it holds up. It seems to be fairly well made. It's all stainless steel. So if you need something small to keep, I don't know, on your keychain, or, keep around so you have a little knife that's handy, those might be kind of cool. I have not looked up the price of these. I guess at some point I'll put one of these to use and try to do that soon. And actually, you buy them 2 at a time. They come in a box, 2 of them in a box. And it's a small keychain knife, 2 pieces, mini folding pocket knife with liner lock, 1.6-inch blade. So I can put a link in the description if you want to get one. I'm sure they're not very expensive, but it's not why I was actually here today. So anyway, this is the knife. If I was to give the manufacturer any suggestions, one would be to pocket clip. Make it where you can move it. That would be nice. Everything else I think is pretty solid on it. No real complaints. The only other suggestion I would have, and I've had this with several of the Chinese-made knives, is naming. Naming is so important. If you look at some of the knives that are pretty successful, whether they're Chinese or American or from other countries, they give their knives a name. Like the Spyderco Delica 4. I know it's a Spyderco. I know the Delica 4 is a certain model. I think that naming is really important for brand recognition. Because if I were to show this to somebody out in the field and I said it's a Barrysail knife, which is a little uncommon of a word anyway, but it's not like that's a name it's gonna stick in their head and they're gonna be able to remember it and go on Amazon and find it. So that would be not a real critique of the knife itself, but of marketing. Anyway, so that's the Barrysail 3.3-inch folding knife. I think it'd be a good EDC knife, good outdoor knife. Just good all-around general use knife. Definitely worth checking out. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope that's helpful. And if you have any thoughts or comments, please don't hesitate to leave me one. And thanks for watching.